It's 4 a.m. You just jump on the road for your 1 hour commute to work. As you're driving, you realize that you are the only car on this lonely road as it's very dark outside. You drive about 20 miles out and you hear a loud pop sound. You slowly merge over, pull over to the side of the road, jump out of your car and notice 2 of your tires have popped. What do? Many may think, well, of course you call for help, right? What if you didn't have a cell phone? Let's think about that. I'll let it simmer for a little bit. My name is Felicia Flores, and this speech, persuasive speech, will be on why we need cell phones. Why it's a necessity now. No longer a want for a toy, for something new to learn, but it's a need to live our daily lives. I will be touching 3 major points of how we integrate this in our daily life and how it makes it a little easier for us. Communication. What was a cell phone made for? To communicate, correct? Communication is key. First, we used to use home phones. Think about how often you spend your time at home. Very few, I know for myself. Work, school, everything takes up the time that I have, and I really just go home to sleep. If we dig a little deeper here, communication. Many of us don't get to see our family on a daily basis. Imagine having to wait for them to be home in order to communicate with them, to call them, see how their day was going. It's tough. There's a saying that many have heard, there's not enough hours in the day. And I'm sure many can relate to that. I'm home probably 9 o'clock at night, go to sleep, leave 7 o'clock in the morning again. I would never be able to speak with my family if I relied only on a home phone. This is where a cell phone would come in handy. A quick text message, a quick call just to say hi, I love you, have a good day. Or for instance, myself, I'm in a long distance relationship. My boyfriend lives in Florida and I'm out in California. With the time difference, that's already a battle for us. However, with cell phones, I get to see him every once in a while, not face to face, but we have video chat, FaceTime. Many of you probably know what that is. Little things like this we take for granted because we don't get to see them all the time. However, technology and cell phones have gotten us where we'd like to be. Not only with talking, but actually visually getting to see each other as well. So communication is one. Second would be organization. The whole time thing that I touched bases on before. Many of single mothers that I know usually have about 20 things they have to get done before the end of the day. They have to go drop their kids off at school, remember to pick them up, make sure you make them lunch, go take them to the doctor's appointment, don't forget to take them to dance class, right? About 20 million things are running through your head. How do you remember everything? A cell phone is a perfect tool to make life easier for you. It helps you organize. You don't have somebody tapping you on the shoulder every minute saying, hey, you need to go pick up your child in 5 minutes. However, an alarm on a phone can subtly give you that quick hint, hey, you're running a little late. People in general, not just stay-at-home moms, rely on these things to help organize their lives. For schoolwork, remembering due dates, things like that we take for granted. Before, it was the big notebook you had to carry around. Imagine a mother of 3 having to carry around a big bag full of her books of reminders as well as the baby's bag, the extra stuff for their extracurricular activities after school. It would be a big headache. So something like a cell phone would definitely come in handy for them. And last but not least, security. Times have drastically changed. So let me take you back to my opening statement about the scenario of 4 a.m. stranded with no cell phone. This was a recent scenario that I actually encountered somebody who went through it. I myself work for a wireless company and encounter people with situations every day, having to do with cell phones, of course, how they run their lives, their businesses. They're lost without it. It's like cutting off their right or left arm if their cell phone goes out. So I had a woman come in recently, and she had never owned a cell phone. She was in about her mid-40s, mid-late 40s. She refused to have a cell phone even though her children told her over and over, Mother, you need to get a phone. She felt she had no need for one. until this happened. She found herself stranded, 4:30 a.m. in the morning on her way to work, on a lonely freeway. She had to walk towards what she said civilization. She tried to find the closest route. As she walks down off of the freeway in the pitch dark, she noticed somebody's following her. It was a van, and it was so dark she couldn't see anybody in her, so she freaked out. The first thing she could think was run. So she starts running towards what she thinks is traffic, running as quick as she can. She finds a local McDonald's. She made it there safely, thank goodness, but noticed across the street, that van that was following her, there was a man standing outside just staring at her. Put shivers down my back when I thought of this, because I put my mother in this situation thinking she would have to go through something like this. Security is number one. Thinking about putting yourself in that situation and not being able to reach out to anybody, not telling anybody you're okay or you're not okay. It's not the same anymore as it was before, where you can let your child outside for hours at a time and play and not have to worry about anybody being abducted. Now, it seems like every time you look at the news, it happens all the time. Many may think cell phones pretty much run our lives, but we have to kind of aim towards the good and not let it take over our lives in the bad way. About 91% of adults own cell phones, and this is actually according to Pew Research Center. They came out with a research on cell phones, on how it's good and bad. Mostly good, but many people don't use it towards that. 74%, I believe, use more than just a phone. So they're using it for organization. They're using it to help make their lives a little easier, to contact their family, things like that. I'm sure many of you own a cell phone and know where I'm coming from. As you can see, these little things in life that sometimes we never think about, we can actually use a cell phone for, and we can be grateful for that type of technology in our life to get us where we're at today. So, thank you for joining me, and I hope after this speech you understand how important it is to own one, not to be negative about it, but embrace the goodness of it, to allow it to secure yourself, allow it to communicate with family you never see, or even allow it to organize yourself through our hectic lives that we live. Thank you. Have a good night.